Hi everyone, I am Yogadharani, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering at SNS College of Engineering. I am handling Essence of Indian Traditional Knowledge for a third CSE. Today I am going to talk about very important and interesting topic, Indigenous knowledge, commonly referred as IK. So, in an age where modern science and technology dominate many areas of our lives, it is essential that we do not forget the rich traditional system that have guided human societies for centuries. So, indigenous knowledge is not just a past, it is living, evolving system of understanding the world based on generation of experiences and interaction with the natural environment. So let us think and talk deeper into what the IK is, what it is matters, and how it impacts local communities and development. So, what is indigenous knowledge? Indigenous knowledge is the local knowledge that is unique to a specific culture or society. It has the skills, experiences, and insights of people often passed down orally from generation to generation. It is deeply rooted into cultural traditions, social norms, and local ecosystems. So, this kind of knowledge is not written in any textbook but is learned through direct experiences, observations, storytelling, or apprenticeship. So each community across the world has its own version of IK, specific environmental, social, and spiritual needs. So why it is important? Organizations like the World Bank have recognized that investing in IK and integrating it into development programs can help reduce poverty and improve well-being in sustainable ways. So let me share you a few examples where IK has made a real impact. In Uganda, traditional birth attendees helped reduce maternal mortality when their indigenous practices were respected and combined with the formal health care, that results were life-saving. In Nepal, local communities used their knowledge for the terrain and weather patterns to distribute food aid effectively, even in remote and disaster affected areas. So, among the IBO community in Nigeria, postpartum care rituals like herbal treatments and specific diets support maternal and child health, showcasing how traditional practices can align with the modern healthcare. And applications of indigenous knowledge in community life is first one is agriculture. So, indigenous farmers have developed traditional farming methods like intercropping, crop rotation, and use of organic fertilizers. For example, the use of natural pest control and weather protection based on animal behavior are widely practiced in many rural communities. So, the second type is healthcare. IK includes knowledge about medicinal plants and traditional healing practices. So, for example, tribal communities often know how to treat common illness using herbs and roots found in their local forest, which modern science is only beginning to study. And third one is food preparation and preservation, which means a traditional method for preparing and preserving food such as fermentation, sun dyeing, and smoking are part of IK. These techniques are not only having effective but also environmentally sustainable and require fewer resources. And the fourth one is education. In indigenous communities, education is not limited to schools. Children learn thorough oral storytelling, observation, and community participation. So, moral values, survival skills, and cultural traditions are passed on through songs, dance, and rituals. And the fifth one is natural resource management. Here, indigenous people often act as a custodian of nature. They follow sustainable practices in hunting, fishing, water conservation, and forest management. So, for instance, they may observe taboos or seasonal restrictions that protect biodiversity. And the last one is a host of other activities. IK influences local craftsmanship, construction methods, community conflict resolution, and weather forecasting. So, why indigenous knowledge important today? Environment sustainable. IK promotes eco-friendly practices that protect biodiversity and cultural identity, which helps preserve language, tradition, and heritage. Then disaster risk reduction, which indigenous people often have a system in place to cope with droughts, floods, and other natural disasters. So, what are the challenges in preserving indigenous knowledge? So, loss of oral tradition. As younger generation move to urban area or adapt to modern lifestyle, much IK is being lost. And the second thing is lack of documentation. Most IK is unwritten, making it vulnerable to extinction. So, disrespect or ignorance. Sometimes IK is viewed as unscientific or outdated, leading to its neglect in policy and education. So, IP issues, that is intellectual property issues. Indigenous community often do not receive recognition or benefits when their knowledge is commercialized. So, indigenous knowledge is vital living resource that communities around the world have relied upon for centuries. Let us not forget the wisdom does not always comes from the books or labs. Sometimes it comes from the forest, field, kitchen, and the story of our elders. Thank you.